Where's Jacob?
All right, so welcome back to the Beers on Heads podcast.
Welcome back to the Beers on Heads podcast.
We got Sneed in the building, Justin Barrett, and our good friend JJ, Jacob Johnson. It looks like he's aged a little bit. I guess that's what a whole weekend of brown liquor will do. JJ, how you doing?
Bro, y'all are aging worse than me. What are you talking about?
Just kidding. It's Keith Grayson. We had to get him on, join the pod. Well, we didn't really want to have anybody come on and actually talk baseball. We just wanted to kind of grieve, and Keith is like a dark person, so we figured that if we're going to be grieving and all life is terrible, life sucks, we should bring on Keith. So welcome in, buddy. How you been? You look like you're in a nice little pool there in sunny Arizona.
Dude, I thought I was gonna just be the first guest that's like made a repeat appearance. Like there was some sort of like celebrity attached to that.
Is this?
I think you've made 2 appearances. Am I? This is your third. Am I wrong?
Second.
I think this is your third. I think at this point you're just a fill-in host. Like there's nothing special about that.
Where is JJ for real? Is he like?
Honestly,
we don't know.
He's in Dallas. He got picked up by the feds, and look, JJ's a drug mule.
You would know about that being in Arizona. So Keith, I want to get your thoughts on this first. We have to talk about it. We can probably move on pretty quickly from it. Why did Arkansas lose a series in the Super Regionals in Fayetteville to NC State? Why do you think that they did?
Look, man, it's the same thing after we lost in the Elite Eight to Baylor that I was saying, like, this happens in steps. You win championships in steps. It doesn't just all happen overnight. I liken it to the comparison I've been making for years is like, let's say there's a college student that's fresh out of school, some doe-eyed kid that's from the country and doesn't know any better, and he gets an internship with like Bo Mattingly or something. He gets hired at Hog Sports with Trey Biddy, and he's making this escalation like he's going to the moon, like straight on a rocket. And then you turn around and you're like, he's a bank teller in Boonville. Like, what happened to his career? And there's just these stops. It doesn't happen all at once.
Hosting a shitty podcast.
Working for free for the school paper or whatever you're doing now. Congratulations. Sometimes you go backwards before you go forward.
We can get to that in a little bit. I feel like you're
what a read.
But I feel like you might be using me as an example in this situation.
I've been using that analogy to Arkansas athletics for years before that exact analogy.
Absolutely thriving in my new career, which, by the way, behind Trey's back, you told me to quit every single time you talk to me. Quit and get a real job. Do something like finance, and I finally do, and all you do is shit all over me all the time. That's okay. But for real, in terms of baseball, why did Arkansas lose a 3-game series to NC State? I know we all have opinions. I really want to know for real.
All we do is swing for the fences, man. We need some guys to get on base and some average dudes to mix in with some power. Can't just that stuff fades. High strikeout. It's the risk reward type stuff. You see 21-2, and then you see 3-2 and a loss. I mean, all in the same weekend. So I mean, that's just. But baseball. I mean, that's why people love baseball, is that it is so unpredictable, and that's the beauty of it, and that's also what's wrong with it. The depressing part of it when you're on the wrong side of it.
Well, it did seem like that last series. I know there's a couple of players throughout the lineup, like, for example, Slavens. He's always just trying to hit over the fence. But it seemed like everybody was trying. Maybe the pressure got to him or something. They were swinging for the fences every at-bat. And a lot of people would blame that on maybe the crowd not being as into it or something like that. They were trying to get the crowd back into it. I really don't know what happened. Here's my quick analysis. You can't win 21-2 on Friday night. I think that really, really screwed everything up. You give me a baseball team, especially a young baseball team or a college baseball team, that scores 21 runs against good competition, and show me a game where they do it again the next day. It never happens. And then you think about a 3-game series, NC State had 2 good relievers, and they got to save those guys for the big moments on Saturday and Sunday. And they came through. Props to NC State, tip of the cap. They had enough power and they had enough big moments in their lineup to get it done. Truth of the matter is, Saturday and Sunday, Arkansas's bats didn't show up, and there was some decisions that possibly could have gone either way, especially with Koshu on Saturday. But you just didn't show up, and like you were mentioning, it is baseball, and I wrote about that today. Like, dude, it's not all about this one decision. It's not all about the lineup swinging for the fences and just batting for average. It's all these little things that come into play when it comes to baseball. And when you're facing a team that's capable like NC State, then every once in a while you're going to get got. I don't think anybody in the country thinks that NC State's a better team than Arkansas. It was just one of those weekends. Sneed, what do you think?
Well, it's just part of baseball,
Baseball. Keith misses you so much. Look at him.
I despise y'all.
No, come on, man.
It's part of baseball, though. I mean, look, you don't. There's no team that's going to win every single series of every single game or every single year. It's at some point in time you're going to have to take a loss, and unfortunately for us, it was this last weekend. I mean, the odds on winning every single possible series that you possibly can is astronomical. I mean, we talk about averages in baseball. When a guy gets into a slump, that's why he's hitting for average. If you play the law of numbers, you're not going to win every single series, and that's just part of it.
Yeah, what do you think the odds? I know they don't do a bunch of college baseball odds, maybe more now than they used to, but what do you think the odds were that Arkansas was going to win every single SEC series? It would have to be insane. And so, do you think here's a question for you and Keith? Did Arkansas peak at the wrong time?
Yes and no. I thought we really peaked. It looked like we peaked in the SEC tournament, and that's the time that you want to get hot as postseason play. Yeah. But did we lose Keith?
We lost Keith, but we'll keep on talking through it. I'm sure he's got an opinion on it. I think that in baseball, there is some people don't believe and you peaked at the wrong time. I think that actually is something that happens. And usually when the lineup is struggling, there's more than one person in the lineup that's struggling. So It's kind of contagious when people are smashing hits, then other people start to smash hits. When people are down and you see somebody like Christian Franklin, who's been excellent all season long throughout his whole career. I mean, not excellent, I'll say, but a good baseball player. He's struggling as bad as he is. I mean, that you look at that and you're in the 5-hole and you're like, man, this pitcher must have something incredible. He doesn't. It's just something that's contagious that happens.
Do you think they should have left Webb in the lineup instead of Franklin since he was having such a slump and they scored 22 runs or 21 runs?
It's not like Webb was doing much better.
Right. But I don't know, just the feel. I don't know the feel of the lineup.
And I feel like you couldn't take Christian Franklin out of the game just based on
true because you need him out there in the outfield. I mean,
and he almost
if he's not
Homer, I think in the second inning.
Yep,
was it second inning?
Twice. Well, he did it. He almost did it twice, and I can't remember if it was the same game or not. But
he definitely almost robbed a homer on Sunday.
So that's definitely why you need him out there.
So are we going to get Keith back on, or is he?
Well, we've got Keith back on. It looks like, but I don't think we have video.
My phone overheated. Dude, it's 118. It's 118 degrees in Phoenix right now, and it's the whole state's on fire with forest fires. And so I thought it was hazy enough to deflect the sun, but apparently not.
All right, Keith. My last baseball question for you: did Arkansas peak at the wrong time? There he is. Did you go inside?
You have to. It's like a miserable, uninhabitable, wretched place that I live in.
I like how you're trying to big dig us. You're just a BFE Arkansas idiot. Now you've been outside for literally 5 minutes. You can't handle it. You just want to come home.
No, it's a cry for help. All my electronics failed.
It's sad, man. Get a real life.
What's the last baseball question?
Did Arkansas peak at the wrong time?
What? They were peaking all season?
Yeah.
They were number one for 16 weeks. It was they were no. I just think that if you look at the coaching job that Van Horn did, DVH was doing all this with like a long reliever. Yeah. He's just pitching 2 days out of the week or out of the weekend, winning these series without any midweek games and no ace to speak. I mean, Wick was a good ace. Was the closest thing to an ace that we had, I guess, coming out to start. But sometimes you only get 3 innings out of him. I mean, we're piecemealing together, man. Like, we need hopefully next year, like, it sets up to have a better staff. But no, peak. No, I think it's a hell of a coaching job, if anything.
That's a good answer, man.
And I think we got a little bit exposed by North Carolina State's coach has won 1,800 games in his career. He's no chump. You know, I don't think DVH got out coached by any means, but I think that, you know, they small balled us a little bit, and we're a home run hitting team in the small ball game 1.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment. So let's talk about Kevin Kopps. The only reason I want to mention anything about him is everyone could sit here and say like words like excellent, insane, incredible. Like, obviously he was. I was thinking about what Kyle Peterson said to us a couple weeks ago about what makes this team different than the 2018 team. He said Kevin Kopps. I mean, you're not going to have that ever again, probably, if you're Arkansas. Like, that's why it feels like, man, this year could have been special. I thought the offense was good enough to get it done. And Kevin Kopps being there, that's why it felt like the year. But you can get it done without Kevin Kopps because people have been doing it from the beginning of time. You just have to have a better rotation. I wish that we could have used it more sparingly. I wish there was another guy besides Kevin Kopps. You didn't have to throw him out there for 9 innings. That would be pretty great. But that's why it feels like it's such a disappointment because you'll never have that feeling again from a reliever probably for the rest of the time if you're an Arkansas fan.
Well, and all the Arkansas comparisons were – sorry, Snead. All the Arkansas comparisons were to Darren McFadden.
No.
You sit there and you watch Darren McFadden play football, and you're like, I'm never going to see that again. But we had McFadden, Felix Jones, and Peyton Hillis in the same backfield, and we went 10-4. So we can have a better season without Kopps and win a title. But from an individual's performance standpoint, yeah, we're probably never going to see something like that.
Yeah, so I'm also – this might just sound – wait, Snead, did you have something to say?
Well, I was just going to say the specific word that KP used was unicorn. And, I mean, to come out and watch a closer start a game, throw 116 pitches, leave everything out on the field, and obviously it didn't end the way that we wanted it to. But at a bare minimum, that type of performance, you will definitely never see again. At least not here.
Hey, speaking of KP, Justin, when was the last time you shit your pants?
Probably like middle school.
Middle school. Yeah, I don't know about that one, big guy.
That's how you sounded that entire interview with KP too. You're definitely
dude. All right, so I got shit on pretty hard last week for the NGIT interview because apparently I was like I had a picture before I came on and I hadn't been drunk on the podcast in a while and I was like cutting off the poor kid. Paulie Biceps was probably like, who the hell is this guy?
Paulie!
Yeah, you got a little racist on that last
yeah, one. A little bit.
You can't be racist to Italians. I refuse to
Hey,
be all you want.
Hey.
No, I want to see a headline. I want to see the next headline come across my Twitter feed from ArkansasFight.com that PLA has been canceled because of his racial injustice.
Are we actually serious right now that you can be racist towards Italians? Aren't Italians the most racist group of all time?
To whoever the editor of ArkansasFight.net is or whatever you work for.
I honestly don't know who I work for. I don't know who my boss is. I try. Please let me know my boss is. I really don't. I think it's Jacob Davis.
Oh, I know Jacob.
Yeah. So I guess we'll get to that because I know that you got something to say, Keith. God. Damn it. I'm writing again, and it's the worst possible time to pick it back up because baseball just ended. Like this is like the worst possible time to be doing anything related to collegiate athletics. But
yeah, July is great for content.
Yeah, right.
That's why we have you on.
They're paying me a little bit of dough. All right. Yeah, exactly. They're paying me a little bit of dough, and I like writing. And the guy Jacob said that I can write about whatever I want to write about, and I get to link the pod in it. I mean, you might not have ever read Arkansas Fight, but hell, you will now.
I read it today.
Thanks, buddy.
I saw it at the bottom. Listen to the pod.
What?
You said at the bottom, listen to the pod too.
Yeah.
You forgot a comma after pod before two.
And you know what? There's not a soul in that whole Arkansas Fight department that's going to correct me. I love that.
You need an editor.
I saw what you said. What's the abbreviation for Kentucky, Pete? I think that I was the only one that understood that, and I appreciated it.
Tell the joke. Tell the story.
Yep. No.
There's got to be some sort of I just don't know why you're so scared of people.
I'm not scared of people. I just have a certain amount of professional respect for people.
There's a statute of limitations. No, there's a statute of limitations on it.
You moved out of to Arizona and you have no connection whatsoever. Every time you walk into Arkansas, I guarantee that you're shaking. It's like shitting your pants. After everything I've said online, I could legit get my ass kicked every time you come.
No. You think some keyboard warrior is going to throw a punch? No.
No, not a keyboard warrior, because I'm not talking about keyboard warriors. You come after everybody.
Do you think Trey Biddy's going to sucker punch you?
Not me. You deserve it. He should sucker punch you. I think you should kick your ass, to be completely honest. And I want to fight you really bad.
I put a bounty on Trey Biddy's head for somebody to lick his head, his bald head, and I'd give him season tickets.
You know my favorite thing that Trey Biddy ever did? It was when you came on the podcast and you tried to describe what the hell you were. Here's Keith Grayson. He's on the board. Keith, what do you do? He'd ask you, why the hell is Keith Grayson on this podcast? And I feel for him. Like, I ask myself, why is Keith Grayson on the podcast? Now
I'm a real estate investor.
Yeah,
Keith and I work in real estate. Hey, if you want to buy any property in Arkansas, my license went active today.
Oh, well, I went under contract on 17 units in Sebastian County. I'm going to be the man in Fort Smith.
Oh yeah. I don't know that ENVs. Well, maybe I shouldn't. That's great, Keith.
So Keith always talked about how I do real estate, blah blah. I live in Arizona. I think a month ago when you showed us a picture of your house, I realized that you were actually successful, and I was like, holy hell! Now I know why people keep this guy around.
I've been successful. The thing is, my parents are like, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of you. You bought this nice house." It's like something changed. I'm like, no, I'm still a drunk prick. I'm,
well, I know that
a bad friend and all the things that exist, or all my descriptions. But I've been a real estate broker for 16 years. I've sold 750 homes for myself. Anyway, I just I've been doing this for a minute.
Yeah, but you're everything that's wrong with the world, and I truly just looking at you, I'm like, no way this guy is successful. He's like the substitute teacher that diddles kids. That's what you look like. But you actually have ended up being a hella rich dude. It sucks. I don't want to talk about you anymore. I want to talk about something.
No. I have to clear.
No, now you want to talk about me.
I have to clear one thing up though. The way that I am. This is how I am. There's no filter, but it's also genuine. So I don't have to I'm not trying to this doesn't end and I'm somebody else or some fake ass punk or something. This is I talk like this to my clients. This is who I am, and I think people respect that. As if you put on a different face in a career, and you're different in your career than you are in your personal life. So
sure.
I would like to welcome to the podcast one Mr. Jacob Johnson calling collect from jail. And hey, JJ, just so you know, we actually realistically are 2.3 cents per minute on this call. So get going.
I gotta make it quick then. Guys, I don't know what to say. It's been a really tough 3 days for me.
You sound rough.
Yeah, you don't. I can't see you, but I feel like you look like shit.
Yeah, it's. I've been looking for. I don't want to bridges and overpasses and just good spots to just, to scout them out and just kind of see. That's why I went down to Dallas this week. It's a lot of traffic to jump into.
George Bush Turnpike.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I was looking at Sam Rayburn's hole.
Yeah, Sam Rayburn's a good one.
There's a few decent spots there for it. How are y'all?
We've talked it through, man. I think we're actually feeling a lot better. You should have joined. That's why.
Yeah, work got in the way today, and then I made some salmon.
Yeah, that's a great excuse. Keith joined, and he actually made us feel a lot better, believe it or not.
He's just pacing around.
Dude, all we've been doing is making fun of Pete so much that he's now he's resorted to calling me a pedophile. Because he's so defensive.
I mean, Keith is just pacing. Keith is doing absolutely nothing but pacing around his house and nothing but a hat. So
interesting. All right, so
I can't sit on any of my furniture because I'm really wet.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, Dad. So we have gone through a lot, JJ, especially about baseball. Do you have an ode to Kevin Kopps?
Yeah, he was good.
Hell yeah, he was.
I kind of have new perspective though. I think the last 3 days I've really taken a step back and looked at things as a whole, and I am quite positive we'll never win anything in my entire lifetime, and that's okay. That's all right, guys.
That's all right.
You know what? There's bigger things out there in life, like making salmon, and
Jesus Christ, dude.
Learning how to parallel park like a man. I mean, there's things out there to do and conquer and try, and such trivial matters like sports and, your favorite collegiate team played by guys that are now younger than us as a whole. You just gotta wake up and smell the roses. There's a lot of life and world out there to conquer.
Hey, JJ, I'll teach you how to
cry?
JJ, I'll teach you how to swim if you'll teach me how to ride a bike.
Will, I think now's a better time than any, pal.
I agree.
Are you gonna continue to do this podcast? Like,
football season's coming up, guys. Get your spirits up.
Oh,
I'm gonna go in on that.
Throat open and spit in it.
JJ, are you saying that maybe this whole podcast thing isn't for you? Or maybe you're going to come back around? What's going on?
No, I'll keep doing the podcast, but I think I'm going to be like the pop culture guy or like the Zen master.
Pete, I think someone's
JJ,
trying to break
Zen
in.
Master. There's some words that have never been put together before.
Whistle cap, dude.
I don't know. As a new co-host, I think we have to take a vote on it to see if we allow him back in.
Oh, dude, as much as I hate JJ, I would have 1,000 times vote him over you. And you know that. Let's talk.
Points are being
JJ,
made.
Yeah. JJ, I know you're the baseball guy, so I want to get back to a little bit more baseball before you drop into your favorite subject. But why? This is what I asked Sneed and Keith. Why did Arkansas lose that series? It doesn't have to be thing.
Because Dave Van Horde refused to change the lineup.
See, that's a take too. And do you think that Webb should have been in instead of Christian Franklin or something? Or what do you think they flip over?
Well, I mean, when you're 1 through 4 of the lineup in postseason play is hitting under 200, I think it's time to, at the very minimal, maybe put them at the end of the lineup and maybe pull up your guys that are hitting at least their weight to the front of the lineup.
I agree with that a little bit, but the one thing that really did infuriate me is why Matt Goodhart was batting first. I mean, move him to freaking 5th or 3rd. I don't even know. But why was he at 7th? Is what Steve's saying. Why was he your leadoff guy if he can't hit anything? I have no idea.
I want someone to find me a team that won the College World Series with their leadoff man had an OBP of under 300. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, clearly you are down bad, and I understand where you're coming from, man.
Good question. You put Jalen Battles leading off, or Bob, or who?
Here's another thing. Yeah, so here's another angle that I'm looking at, and now that the season's over, I'm looking at this as a whole. Any hitting coach that has Bob Moore hitting 260 in a fucking season is not worth their weight in salt.
Dude,
Bob Moore is not a 260 hitter, 350 OBP hitter. Bob Moore is a guy that's going to be hitting 3 to 320, and he's going to be a guy to get you 10 home runs. He has that kind of power. But if you have Bob Moore with the plate approach that has him sitting at 260, 270 for a season, you're not the guy. You're just not.
That's fair enough. I swear you don't care about sports, but it feels like you have a strong opinion about that.
This is me saying this as the pop culture guy.
Yeah, so what about Kanye and Kim? No, dude, I understand you're frustrated. Everyone is, and you're honest to God. We could sit here and discuss like the event, like the weight of the situation, but you're probably right. Arkansas is not going to win anything because it comes down to more than just being the best team or the hottest team. It comes down to like just luck, man.
And we don't have it.
Here's the deal about that. Let me just jump in on this for 1 second. At a bare minimum in baseball and probably in basketball, at some point in time, definitely baseball, it's going to happen. It just has to. It just has to.
I'm with JJ. I could definitely see my whole life just nothing ever happening. I'm going to be that guy that was born in, like, the Cubs fan that was born in 1910 and dies in like 2010. And then they're going to win it like the next year or something.
Bro, I'm 39. I'm 39.
They won. You were alive.
I don't know why that's your take. You've seen us win.
Yeah.
I want more.
I will say, saying that you saw us win a national championship in basketball when you were 10 years old, when like 5 of the fucking games were broadcast nationally through the season, like, I don't know that I'd love that take. I mean, it was a huge deal, don't get me wrong, but you know what I'm saying.
No, dude, and honestly, I'm thinking, like, man, it might be worse, because, like, now that you've had a taste of it, you want it more. But no,
well, at the time,
no.
At the time in basketball, it was like every year we're going to win it, you know? And since
right,
then, like,
yeah.
After that, you know, we went back to the Final Four again and lost to the O'Bannon brothers or whatever and Tyus Edney. So, like, and then that was it. And then nothing until this year.
Well, the corrupt fucking NCAA introduced the fucking hand check, and we won't get into that.
Well, I remember calling Keith during the Elite Eight run, like, after every game, and I said, Keith, man, is this what it's like? I was so giddy. And then the come down was absolutely, it was heartbreaking. And I felt like it was, to not even make it to Omaha, that's just such a tough scene. It's probably better to deal with it now than to have to deal with it, like, with a pop fly that's been missed, honest to God. Or do you not feel the same way?
I don't know, man. After the drop pop fly, I was able to at least go on Twitter like the days after and like commiserate. Like now, I'm just like seeing 8 fan bases pull their dicks out of their pants. Like, oh my God, Rick. And none of those teams held a candle to us for 4 months. So, like, going into 2022, what do I have to look forward to for the first 4 months of the season? Just, like, pray to God that we can play somewhat over 500 ball and just sneak into Omaha and it doesn't give, like, nothing matters? Because that's how it feels. It feels like next February, I'm not going to be able to get my nipples hard for opening day because it doesn't fucking matter. Nothing matters. It's pointless. It's useless. Sports are just idiotic.
Oh, we should have had the therapist on.
Yeah, dude. And instead we got, like, literally Keith, of all fucking people. All right, JJ, you want to stay on and talk a little football, or you feeling all right?
Jesus fucking Christ! Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
This call is costing me 2.3 cents a minute.
Keith,
go ahead.
You were the biggest Sam Pittman fan before anybody considered that Sam Pittman was going to be the head coach of Arkansas. You said it way before anybody else did. I will give you that. Are you still a big Sam Pittman guy?
I'm still a Pittman guy, dude. You don't stop being a Pittman guy. You have to meet him to understand it. I tell this story all the time. I met Bob Petrino for an hour and a half, talked to him, and I was like, that guy knows more. He has more football knowledge in the tip of his penis than I'll ever have in my entire life. And he proved that over and over. And then I met Brett Bielema, and I was like, I think I can run an SEC program. Pittman was with Bielema, and I've kept in contact with Pittman ever since then. So, I mean, like, the dude checks in on me like my dog died. We both had English bulldogs, and he was like, I heard about your dog. And, like, checked in on me like, he's at Georgia. Who does that? You know? Like, the dude's a stud. And I think that it relates to football because – believe it or not, like, these kids aren't like trained assassins. They have to like the person they play for in order to like play above their head. So he's going to get more out of them than the next guy will. and he can recruit. And I think he can recruit in the SEC. And you can read between the lines however you want with that.
All right, that's my Keith question because I know he's a big Pittman guy. So I know that right now it's hard to get excited about football. I think that's like why I tweeted out the hype video after the game because it's kind of a joke. But as the season gets closer, you're going to get excited about football, and you're going to want to watch every single game. You're going to have expectations. I think that expectations should be higher than they were last season and way lower than Alabama or LSU or Auburn or teams that – I mean, I don't know about Auburn, honestly. I'm just saying, like, you still have to have low expectations, but be excited because you can win an SEC game. You have Treylon Burks on your team. You have Jalen Catalon on the other end. You have coordinators that know football. You have Barry Odom and you have Kendall Briles. You also have a defense that has played together for a year pretty much. You're not losing a lot of pieces. And you have a quarterback that is going to be exciting to watch. Whether he's going to win games for you or lose games for you, for the first time in a really long time, you have a quarterback that is going to be exciting to watch. So, are you excited yet for football season, Snead or JJ?
I tweeted it out, and I just tweeted it at what's his name, the War Machine or whatever the hell. Of course I am. I'm never not going to be excited for football. I'm never not going to be excited for football. It's the best time of the year. It's fall, starting to cool off. It's, you know,
it's not starting to cool off at all.
Well, I know, but if we had just stayed in the Paris Climate Accord, that was a joke. That was you know what? Just here's we don't do politics. Sorry. Anyway, you know, of course I'm excited for football. I'm never not going to be excited for football. It is what I grew up around, and you know, like the guy said, we could go 0-12 every year for the next 15 to 20 years, and I will still be excited for football season.
JJ, would you rather ask me about J-Lo and Ben Affleck, or do you want to go ahead and talk about the football season?
Honestly, J-Lo did A-Rod so dirty with that.
Yeah, dude, I know. It was awful.
Football. I mean, it's not there for me right now.
It's too soon.
You weren't even there during last season. It feels like you just were not in on it. I don't know what it's going to take for you. Do that to be good first?
I don't know, man. I mean, I watch every game, and you know, I drink for them, and I cheer when we score touchdowns, and I get pissed when we screwed over, and I mean that's the extent of it right now. I don't have any expectations. Is the tragedy of this, and that's why it's hard for me to get for it. Is because you know, in my mind, we easily could not win a game this year because I've seen that fucking happen before.
I know.
And
that's the scary part.
Yeah, like if we can string together 2 or 3 wins, maybe my expectations up here in general, and after years of just not having any hope or expectations, or I don't know, man.
Hey, JJ, I made this argument to somebody today. I said, well, doesn't it feel good to go into the season with low expectations after basketball and baseball, where you expect to win every game? Like, you're not going to have that pressure anymore.
Well, the thing is I mean, I don't know. I wasn't even expecting – obviously, I don't think anyone was expecting a baseball season like that. No one was quite expecting a basketball season like that. So, like, both those teams in the regular season and for basketball's sake in the postseason exceeded expectations. So, like, that was fun for a while.
Right.
Having no expectations, I mean, you can't even jump over a hurdle of 0 wins because I don't even, like, expect 0 wins per se. I just don't expect anything.
Yeah.
Like, just literally taking it a quarter at a time. And I'll get excited for the Texas game, and if we win the Texas game, it'll probably build off that. But I don't know. It's just honestly, I think my excitement hinges on the Texas game.
Yeah, I get that. Keith, I want to talk to you about I alluded to what Arkansas is bringing to the table this next season. Like, what are you expecting? I know that you have, like, football is, like, your thing, so that's why I'm asking you.
I'm a football nerd. I think people don't realize, like, how much I know about football because I've coached for 7 years. But as a DC, but I'm not going to live past the Texas game because that's my 40th birthday, and I think that's my ceiling, and so that's going to be a major blowout. So let's all die on September 11th together. We'll do some of that.
Dude.
On the Texas game.
Hell yeah.
What a terrible answer to the question.
JJ's down.
Yes.
JJ's
Damn,
JJ
dude.
can set a date to it.
JJ's going to find the destination.
Nightmare over with.
Golly.
You're going to have to edit the shit out of this show. There's like
No,
15
no.
minutes of like anarchy.
Hey, JJ, I actually do have a question, real quick.
Is this in reference to the Paulie Biceps interview last week?
Yeah, I was apologizing for my behavior.
Yeah, I've been waiting on that. That was let's sidebar that for a second. Pete, that was the worst fucking 20 minutes of audio I've ever heard in my life.
Dude, I was drunk as hell. I'm sorry. And let's not act like there haven't been episodes where somebody else was drunk as hell. But I did bad. I know. I'm sorry. What the fuck was that? You cried?
I can't tell if he's laughing, crying, or off himself.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah, I remember we were all excited, yeah, that was pretty good. And then JJ listened the next day, goes, that was the worst shit I've ever listened to in my life. And I just said, I'm sorry, and he hasn't texted back in the group message since.
It's pretty bad.
And then I texted Paulie the next day. I said, give us a shout out on 11.7. And JJ goes, you fucking idiot. He's like, let's just not put guests in that position ever again. I was like, what has happened to you, dude? I must have really screwed that up. And apparently I did. I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'll
you
do
did
better.
give us a shout out, though.
He sure did.
We
JJ,
must have done something
people
right.
went and listened to that fucking interview.
JJ,
Yeah.
What was better, the interview or the celebration of life for Nana?
Celebration of life for Nana, 100%.
How did that go? If you guys,
it went well.
JJ's grandma died in January and they buried her last week.
No, that's not exactly the logistics of it.
She passed in January. Sorry.
She did pass in January, then at some point along the way, she got cremated.
Oh,
Where it
thank you.
goes, I'm not sure. But we had a nice family weekend on the Arkansas River, as one does. Classic.
That's where the yacht club is?
Yeah, it's wild.
Was it wild? I've never been to the Arkansas Yacht Club.
No, it
You
was
guys both
not. It was just wild that there was a yacht club by downtown Little Rock. Wouldn't expect that.
Here's
Okay.
here's the one thing that wait, hold on. I need to jump in here on this for just 1 second.
On the funeral?
Kind of, because I had texted JJ and Blake, who is our what's Blake's title for the podcast now? Do we
Fluffer.
have one yet?
Agent?
Something.
Agent. Here, hold on.
Social media strategist.
Our
What?
social media strategist, Blake. I texted him and Blake, and I said, after we lost the game to Nebraska to push it to Monday, I said, we don't separate, because we separated the last time we made it to Omaha. Blake and I were in St. Louis for the Blues. JJ was in Omaha. We went to in barbecue. I separated off in the stadium when we dropped the pop fly. So we don't separate. We do not separate. We watch the games together. And JJ, look, I love Kelsey. I love her. I love her dearly. I love her. But JJ made the decision to go to Dallas for game 3, and I'm resting it solely on JJ.
How much do you love her, Sneed?
I love her dearly.
Yeah.
She's my friend's girlfriend.
Okay.
Any
Anyway.
response to that, JJ?
Yeah, I'd like to know.
No, not really.
Okay.
Did you screw up?
Did you
Do you apologize?
do this?
If I did, then it's just a long line of decisions that I've made that hurt me directly.
If you keep on doing that and making those decisions, you're going to end up looking like Keith, and that's not where you want to be, buddy.
I've always
Gross.
said that Keith is just me in 15 years, so
I know. That's why I hate you a little bit less than I hate Keith, because you in 15 years is going to be insufferable.
yeah, probably.
I want to end the show on a high note, kind of.
Well, wait, we've got mailbag.
Oh, yeah. That's a high note.
Wait,
Because there's going to be great questions, right? Really positive.
it's mailbag time, bitches.
Nice.
Okay, hold on. Let me get it pulled up here. All right. First one we have is from Dylan Davis. I know we just got done with baseball season, and it was an ending we didn't want. But what are your predictions for the upcoming basketball and football seasons? We kind of touched on football a little bit. I don't know that we gave predictions, but
I don't want to give predictions yet.
These people think this is a real
I'll
show.
give a prediction.
apparently, Keith, what are your
What do
predictions?
they think this is?
Keith, give us your predictions.
Who do you see as our two deep in the? Like, who gives a shit? What are you asking ears on heads for that? Dylan, wake the fuck up.
I have a take. I hope that Arkansas sneaks into the NCAA tournament in basketball so that Duke doesn't give the bag to Muss once Coach K leaves.
Oh,
They already named the successor, dude.
You don't believe that? Smoke and mirrors. Bag man. You never know.
all right.
I think the best question is who's.
Wait, hold on. This is my segment, Justin. I never get a fucking
Y'all
segment.
never let Will talk.
Who told you to speak, Justin? Jeez.
Yeah, should
Anyway, this is from Cowboy Joe. Like they do in LSU. That's how he spells Joe. He wants to know, when does the pain and suffering end?
Never does. It never will either.
It never will.
Actually, JJ's been scoping out some bridges in Oklahoma and North Texas.
That's when it'll end.
Oh, here's a good one.
Keith's 40th birthday.
Yeah, life is really tough for me, Joe. Go fuck yourself.
This is from Romano.
That guy.
Yeah, this guy. We love this guy. I just can't. I don't know what his name is.
Ramad.
Anyway, Ramad. Yeah, you want to do it in Italian accent, Pete?
Expert.
It's
Italian.
okay. It's cool.
Here, I'll read it in an Italian accent for you. When are the tattoos happening, and who will have the pleasure of doing them? I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a little spin the bottle or a little draw names out a hat ordeal.
I don't know. I heard what I heard in verbal on Beers on Heads is apparently binding. Everybody was down.
No.
All
No.
y'all were doing that shit.
But can I say something, Keith?
Just because everybody
Justin
was down, though.
is bitching out right now.
I'm not bitching out. I was not involved. Show me the video where I'm in the bet video. I'm not in that.
I said that, we have a 25% chance of it landing on us. Who'd you think? Was it a fucking
It's
cat?
y'all. I'm the least likely to go viral for this. So this is y'all's thing. This is the host.
No, I guarantee you that if you put a picture of Kyle Peterson on your ass, he will retweet it.
This was your bet, Pete.
That's a fair point.
You bad, All right.
All right, we've got one more. We've got one more from Sean.
This was the one I wanted to read.
Ass of the four.
Oh, well, Justin wants to take over my segment, so go ahead, Justin.
No, nobody answered the question. When are you getting your ass set?
Oh,
We have to do
whenever.
person in a couple, maybe like a month or two. But we will do it. I swear to God, we will do it.
We will do it. It might have to wait until Texas weekend if it lands on me. But
this is unrelated to the podcast.
Or Ole Miss weekend. We can do it Ole Miss weekend.
Will you pay for the tattoo?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Pay for the airfare.
oh, good. Okay, so we officially went into the red with the 2.3 cents per minute, but now I think we're back out of it.
Yeah.
We're back to black.
All right.
Nice.
What's the next question, Justin?
Who's the one team you don't absolutely want to win in Omaha?
Absolutely
Tennessee, number one. I know that JJ's kind of struck up an alliance with fucking Mississippi State, but Mississippi State probably be my number two.
I say Tennessee because they're new to this shit. Like they have not suffered, like in baseball terms, of not figuring it out, and their fan base is obviously like pretty annoying. That doesn't really matter. I just think that they're too new to be able to go in and claim Omaha for the rest of their freaking lives.
I hope not.
Something
God,
that we
I
haven't
hope
been
not.
able to ever do. Yeah. What about you, JJ?
I don't care.
Keith,
I hope
Texas
they
is
just
in it
nuke
too.
the whole field.
you hope what?
I hope they nuke the whole field.
Our ancestors are crying in their graves right now because we didn't say Texas.
No,
Oh,
KP's
shit.
gonna be right.
Oh,
KP's
shit.
looking right. KP's looking right on it. It's Stanford's going to win the whole thing. It looks like.
I will
they're
say, if we flip the question, we ask who we want to win. My 1 and 2, and I don't know that I have a set order for them, are probably North Carolina State and Stanford.
Yeah, absolutely, Stanford. I mean, yeah, I just want KP to do well.
Y'all
Friend
should
of the
flip.
pod.
Y'all should flip y'all's bet with him. And if Stanford versus the field, he has to get a tattoo of beers on heads.
Wait, no. Devil or nothing. We have to get two. We all have to get a picture of Kyle Peterson on each cheek.
Ooh,
yeah, no, two of the four of us.
No, not me.
Well, you went
Two of the four of us have to get a picture of Kyle Peterson on each cheek. Kyle, if you're listening, we know you're a loyal listener.
He's not listening. He tuned out.
All right. Well,
So
I think
my positive note that I figured we'd shut on is I can't wait to watch a game with Keith in his mansion.
Me too.
We
I'm
gotta
still
take a
waiting on
date.
my Evite.
We've got Evites, haven't we?
Well, the
I
Evite
never
was a
got one.
text.
Yeah.
Ole Miss. It was a joke because I don't know who the fuck sends Evites, but all of y'all are invited.
Justin too?
Yeah,
South of Phoenix.
of course. Justin's my favorite.
Damn right.
Out of all of
We
them.
can do a live pod by the pool if it's not
Yeah.
3,000 degrees.
JJ can bring his
Hey.
chick, so
Really?
like he can
Yeah.
actually come.
JJ can come.
There's a sale on Southwest Airlines flights, 50% off right now, so we can go ahead and book that shit right now.
That we
That was a
should.
bunch of miles, dude. It's not even a thing. It's a bunch. It's done. Between me and Sneed's trust fund, this thing's paid for.
Oh my god, dude! I love having rich friends. None of my friends are.
Hey, hey Keith, if you are actually sending an Evite, and this is not just for the purposes of advertising laws in the state of Arkansas, this is not an advertisement, but the email is william.sneed@evrealestate.com.
There's laws against
That was not an advertisement.
Yeah, and if you want to reach me, also you can find me at Twitter, hogfan42069. And if you, for all of your lending needs, come find me at in Batesville, Arkansas.
No one's going to Batesville.
I have a Twitter account.
All right, beers on heads, go Hogs.
It doesn't matter.
It does.